Over a year ago now, I had what can only be described as a catastrophic mental health breakdown. Hello everyone and welcome to the Bimbling Book Club. But before I tell you what the Bimbling Book Club is and what it's all about, let me tell you a little bit more about me and who I am and why I'm here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dan and I am the content creator behind the platform Bimbling Books 𝗕𝗂𝗃. I am currently across 4 different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram and TikTok, with YouTube being my main focus at the minute. YouTube and Instagram, but mainly YouTube, which is why you guys are seeing this here. The Bimbling Book Club is a new idea for a YouTube series that I have thought about in my head, and I'm going to give it a go, so let's see how we go. But how did I get here and what is the fascination with books? Well, my platform Bimbling Books 𝗕𝗃𝗃 focuses on promoting positive mental health through the power of walking, books and beer. Over a year ago now, I had what can only be described as a catastrophic mental health breakdown. I hit rock bottom. That was off the back of a relationship breakup and significant struggles in what was my work at the time. I was a teacher. And in the end, I said, enough is enough. I need to do something about this. I need to prioritise me. I need to change my life. I had to do a lot of self-work. I had to work on myself quite substantially. But books were a really important part of that process. So, where do books fit into the bigger picture of Bimbling Books 𝗕𝗃𝗃? Well, during that really difficult time, books became a shield to me. Have you ever been out in public on your own and you think somebody's watching you, or they're judging you, or they're thinking what you're looking at, what you're doing, have you got any friends? If that sounds like you, then that was me a year ago. The reality was that people probably weren't thinking that, it was just my paranoia, but books became my shield. So when I went out to the pub, or when I went out for a walk, or when I went out to go and have some food, or went to a coffee shop for lunch, I would take a book with me. And that then meant that I had a reason to be in those places. I had a purpose. And over time, books changed for me. They started being a shield, but then actually they started becoming an avenue for conversation. I would sit there and read my book and they would strike up a conversation with me about what I was reading. It's really difficult to explain how a book has helped you become more independent and comfortable being on your own in society. But books really helped me with that. And I don't know whether anybody else needs to hear that. I don't know whether anybody else has felt like that. Anyway, that's me. That's why books were so important to me. So now YouTube is the main focus. I am ready to bring books properly into the Bimbling Books 𝗕𝗃𝗃 stratosphere. I'm launching this. This is going to be called the Bimbling Book Club. So the Bimbling Book Club is going to be a digital-based book club where at the start of the month, I am going to introduce the book of the month to you via a video like this. I will tell you a little bit about why I picked that book, why I think it's going to be an interesting read. I will invite you to go away and buy the book if you want to join in with that monthly read. Go away, buy the book, read it at your own pace. The nice thing is about this book club, you can read it wherever you want. I really don't care. The more interesting place you go reading a book, the better. Well, at the end of every month, I will then make another video. I can promise you it won't always be me sitting in my office. But I will make a video at the end of the month then where I will share my views and opinions, and then I will invite you guys to join in the comments to share your views and opinions. So, if the idea of a book club where you don't have to see people, not going to be any pressure on big, difficult reads, it's going to be sort of quite easy to digest reads, and a nice friendly environment where there's no bad vibes, we're just promoting positive mental health through the power of reading, the Bimbling Book Club is going to be for you. This month's book is going to be 𝗕𝗂𝗃𝗁 𝗕𝗂𝗃. This book is by an author called 𝗕𝗵𝗺𝗯𝗃. It is a seaside idyll with horror at its heart. I'll tell you why I picked this book. The first thing was the cover. It's really striking, isn't it? That was what grabbed me to start off with. I'm not going to lie. That was it. I'll give you a very quick read through. I'm not going to do this for every book, but I'll do it. 𝗕𝗂𝗃𝗁 𝗕𝗂𝗃 is a working village in Cornwall where life has gone on uninterrupted for centuries until it was discovered by the rich. If you live in Cornwall, that sounds very familiar. Now the harbourfront cottages have been snapped up by second homeowners and the locals can barely afford to live in their own town. It is a very different place for Merrin Moon returning for the first time in 12 years after the death of her mother. For there are forces at play in the village that she could never have imagined. Something old and terrible is awakening beneath the town's hallowed ground, and with it comes a horror that the residents have fought for generations to keep a secret. Now I read that and I thought, yeah, that's a bit of me. And one thing I love about the books that I choose is I absolutely love a short chapter. And this has short chapters. I often find that means you can pick up a book and blast through a couple of chapters really quickly if you've got 20 minutes, half an hour, and you feel like you've achieved something. I don't know if anybody else feels like that. And that's what we're going to be reading for March. If you are joining along with the Bimbling Book Club and you want to go out and pick up March's read, it is going to be 𝗕𝗏𝗺 𝗕𝗂𝗃 by an author called David Barnett. But I would recommend shopping in your local bookshop. I love going into bookshops. Does anybody else love going into bookshops? I hope you do. If you like going into bookshops, then you're probably in the right place. Anyway, that is it for the first instalment of the Bimbling Book Club. The book that we are reading this month is 𝗕𝗏𝗺 𝗕𝗂𝗃. This is the March edition. Go out, pick up the book, have a read, and keep your eyes peeled at the end of the month for my thoughts and opinions on 𝗕𝗏𝗺 𝗕𝗂𝗃. I hope you enjoy it, and join me soon for some more Bimbling Books and Beer.